Witches. So yesterday we kind of talked about the Wheel of the Year, and today I'm going to touch on some other pagan holidays or other holidays that witches might celebrate, because as we know, there are tons of different religious paths, including Abrahamic ones. So like if you're a Christian who also practices witchcraft, you can celebrate Christmas. Like you don't have to follow the Wheel of the Year, and I want to make that very, very clear to everybody. I want to ensure that all of you guys know that you do not have to practice specifically the Wheel of the Year in order to be a witch. You know, I know Christian witches, I know Christian witches, I know Muslim witches, I know Jewish witches, I know, you know, agnostic and atheist witches who don't follow any gods. I know there are witches who practice voodoo and Santeria and like follow a whole different set of holidays, right? So I'm going to run through some other witchy holidays kind of month by month, or other holidays that aren't really part of the Wheel of the Year that we discussed yesterday that you might be interested in learning more about or practicing should you follow a specific pantheon or path or what have you. So we're going to start in January, and on the 12th we start with the first holiday, which is Epiphany, and this is actually a Christian holiday that celebrates when the three wise men visited baby Jesus with their gifts. You have Thorblot on the 14th, which is a Norse holiday that honors Thor. Then you have Sementive, which is a Roman festival to prepare for spring. So on the 31st, you have Dysablot, which is a Norse holiday meant to celebrate preparing for springtime to come around. Then on January 30th through February 2nd, you have Februalia, which I cannot say, which is a Roman festival honoring Vesta, who is a hearth goddess and is focused on cleansing and kind of renewing yourself in preparation for the new year. And as you can see, it kind of lines up with Imbolc. So there's that. On February 12th, I believe this year, is Chinese New Year. So this kind of is actually more of an astrological thing, I believe. It has to do with the lunar calendar and a bunch of other astrology stuff. So if you are Chinese, if you celebrate Chinese New Year, I know Chinese New Year is celebrated by like other cultures as well, but anyways, if you celebrate this, it's pretty cool. It's on the 12th, and it corresponds with the new moon entering Aquarius. So there's that. On the 15th of February is Lupercalia, which is the Roman holiday to celebrate fertility and the coming spring. It kind of lines up with Valentine's Day. No one is surprised. So fertility festival, it's kind of fun. Okay, so starting on March 1st is Matronalia, which is the Roman festival of women. On the 17th is St. Patrick's Day, which is really less of a holiday, especially for Celtic pagans like myself, because that kind of celebrates the day that St. Patrick, quote unquote, like drove the snakes out of Ireland, the snakes being pagans. So in reality, it doesn't mean that he like actually killed pagans. It's more that he introduced Christianity to Ireland. However, Celtic pagans like myself will occasionally wear like snake imagery on that day, just, you know, whatever. On the 26th, you have Magha Puja Day, which is a Buddhist holiday that commemorates when 4 disciples traveled to be with Buddha. And on the 29th, you have Palm Sunday, which is Jesus's entry into Jerusalem. On the 29th, you have Holi, which is a Hindu festival of colors and a farewell to winter. And also on the 29th is the beginning of Passover, which celebrates the freedom of the Israelites from enslavement in Egypt. So moving into April, you have April 2nd, which is this year is Good Friday, which was the day that Christ is crucified. I believe this also changes like throughout the year, so or changes based on the year, I should say. So just kind of keep that in mind. Well, a couple days later on the 4th, you have Easter, which is the day that Jesus was resurrected. On the 12th, you have the beginning of Ramadan, which is the Islamic month of fasting. And this is kind of used as an avenue to focus on spirituality, devotion, worship, etc. On the 15th, you have Sigurblat or Summer's Day, which is the Norse celebration of the coming days of summer. On the 22nd of April, we have Earth Day. Yay, we love the Earth. This is a total like non-religious holiday, but Earth Day is always fun to celebrate because, you know, we love the Earth. On the 28th, or between the 28th and May 3rd, you have Floralia, which is a Roman holiday of flowers, and it's really just a festival dedicated to spring flowers and, you know, the beauty of that. And then finally, on the 30th is Walpurgisnacht, which is kind of the opposite of Samhain, where the veil is thin, and you can actually use this time to commune with the other side. So if you think about the Wheel of the Year, here, I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. Like, you have different holidays on like equal but opposite points on the wheel, right? So Samhain and Beltane are on 2 different equal and opposite points, meaning the veil is thinnest here and also here. So people kind of forget that. I probably didn't mention it in the last video, but Beltane is also a really great time for divination and talking with specifically like, or working specifically with the Fae. If you want me to get into that, I can. I don't really work with them personally. I kind of just stray away from that, but if you do want me to talk about it, I definitely can make a video. Okay, so in May, you have Beltane, May 1st, but you also have on the 12th, the end, or Eid al-Fitr, I don't know if I'm saying that right, I'm super sorry, which is the last day of Ramadan. And then the 19th, which is Buddha Day, which is a celebration of Buddha's birthday. And then you also have a Roman fertility festival also on May 1st, which is called Bona Dea. In June, from the 7th to 15th, there is a celebration of the Roman goddess Vesta, again, by honoring the Vestal virgins who kept Rome safe from harm. And on the 20th to 21st is also just like the summer solstice, which is kind of celebrated across different cultures. It lines up with Letha, but some witches kind of celebrate this differently. So again, look at what your religion says, how you celebrate that. In July, you have Eid al-Adha, which is a festival that celebrates the willingness, an Islamic festival that celebrates the willingness to make sacrifices in the name of one's faith. So in August, beyond Lunasa, there are 2 Roman festivals, which are called Pomona, which is on the 13th and is a celebration of the orchards and a harvest festival, and then a fire festival called Vulcanalia on the 23rd. So those are both kind of, if you follow Roman, Greco-Roman, mostly Roman gods, definitely take a look at that. So in September, we have, on the 6th, we have Rosh Hashanah, which begins a 10-day period of introspection and repentance for Jewish people. And then 10 days later, on the 15th, you have Yom Kippur, which is one of the holiest days in the Jewish year. It's dedicated to like atonement and like abstinence from stuff. So if you're Jewish, Yom Kippur is like super huge, super big deal. So beyond Samhain, in October, you have Bacchanalia, which is, and that's on the 3rd, and that is a Roman festival of like wine and grapes, vegetation, kind of like a little fall celebration, you know. And then on the 31st, in addition to Samhain, you have this Norse holiday called Vetrablot, which is the Norse celebration of the arrival of winter. In November, on November 1st, you have the Day of the Dead, or All Saints Day. On the 4th, you have Diwali, which is the festival of lights, and lamps are actually lit as like a beacon to the goddess Lakshmi. So if you work within that pantheon, Diwali is kind of a very beautiful holiday to celebrate. And then on the 30th of November, you have Hecate Trivia, which is a Roman festival to honor the Queen of the Witches, Hecate. Finally, as we conclude the year, we have in December, on the 5th, we have Krampusnacht, which is a celebration of Krampus, who's kind of become very popular again. I love Krampus, it's great. I want a like Christmas sweater with like Krampus on it. I think that would be hilarious. But anyways, on the 17th, we have the beginning of Saturnalia, which is a Roman festival honoring Saturn. And then of course you have like Hanukkah and Christmas at the end of the month. So all of this to say is like, if you're a witch who celebrates or follows a different religious path, the Wheel of the Year is extremely, extremely Celtic. As someone who works with Celtic gods, I follow the Wheel of the Year because it just like makes sense to me. If you're a witch who doesn't follow the Wheel of the Year, I really want to hear about the traditions you do follow. But this is like mostly a quick message just to dispel any like fears that you need to like follow the Wheel of the Year in order to be like a valid witch. It's mostly fun. If you celebrate the Wheel of the Year and Christianity and like Christian holidays or other holidays, like in addition to, you know, whatever, that's super valid as well. So you do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting people, in my opinion. And anyways, I'm getting really ranty. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about kind of Christianity versus Satanism in witchcraft.